She said, I know it's ugly. And I said, girl, ugly ain't the half. Look at you. Well, you got blue teeth and you only got 2 teeth, but I kinda like to see you smile. And it appears that over the years you've turned into a big old steaming pile. And she said, yeah, I know I ain't no supermodel. I said, you ain't a hand model, baby, but that's fine, 'cause you're pretty ugly by most people's standards, but you're alright by mine.
Motherfucking DragonCon! What the fuck's going on? What the fuck's going on? Oh my God. I can't remember how many DragonCons this has been. It's been a lot of DragonCons, but I only really roll the DragonCon with my buddy, my brother. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Brian Brushwood.
Hello! Hi. I didn't see you there.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the OPP show. OPP stands for Other People's Pain. The idea is this. I have 4 anonymously submitted stories that only will be told to you initially by their chapter headlines.
Sure.
Right? We're going to select somebody to come up and read the story as if it were their own, and Brian and I will do the rest.
But how will we select the people?
Well, the wand...
Avatars of pain.
The wand chooses the wizard, Harry. In fact, because I have a fucked up back and I'm not quite as mobile as I was, Brian, I'm gonna need you to be my eyeball.
Oh shit!
To look into there.
Why would you need a separate eyeball with your back hurting? I'll be your eyeball.
For the record, and it won't come through in the audio, but Brian was halfway to opening this bootleg mixture of vodka and vodka. And when I told him he had to do something, he jittered, shook it, and looked like he had just got caught stealing gold out of a mine. What do you mean, boss? No, nothing going on here.
Hey, man, don't talk to your eyeball that way.
All right, so here's the deal. Let me go ahead and get out the file here. Brian, this is going to be your
God.
copy.
Somebody went to Kinko's.
This is going to be my copy.
Right.
And we are going to begin with a story called Onwards and Upwards.
In 14-point font.
Onwards and Upwards.
This eyeball doesn't see too good.
All right, Brian, I'm going to need you to get up into the audience and
I know. I saw firsthand that this is an instinct of a magician. Is
Yeah.
You look for somebody who just the hand goes up, not thinking, and that's our volunteer right there in the back. Come on up here. What's your name?
All right, we're making our way. Oh yeah, this is we have a Daredevil, a Matt Murdock cosplay.
Oh, for a second I was trying to figure out how a blind person was going to read this. Hi there. I'm Brian. What's your name?
I'm Krista.
Krista. All right. Have a seat, Krista. All right.
Pass that along there.
All right, Krista. You need to read this in character, as if it's, and I want you to own this, Krista. Krista, look at me. Eyes on me, even though they don't work. I want you to hear my sincerity here, Matt Murdock. I want you to own this. This is your story from this point forward, okay? Read by running your fingers over the raised print.
What the fuck are you talking about?
It's called character management.
I know. Let me just say this.
Direction.
One thing that is important is that this was written by a woman. So it is good that
Well, that's no good.
that a woman is reading. All right, here we go. Onwards and upwards.
I'm at a bar with a coworker when a guy I'd hooked up with about 4 years ago starts texting me asking for a repeat.
Okay. That was great.
Okay. He swears it'll be different this time because he's super kinky now.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. You didn't realize we were going to bring the heat on the first story, huh? Congratulations. I've just brought you guys into the most awkward Penthouse Forum reading of all time. Dear jury, I never thought it would happen to me.
So here's my question.
Yeah.
Is what is the relationship that makes you feel like you screwed it up the first time because you weren't kinky enough?
Yeah.
But now you've approached and you've been bitten by a kinky spider and now you are super kinky now.
Don't worry. Yeah, I can see through walls with my kink. All right, go ahead.
He also asked for a very specific favor. That he's willing to fly halfway across the country for me to indulge him in.
Brian, take a guess. What do you think this is? What's a very specific favor?
Cosplay?
Okay.
Maybe
costumes.
like let's hook up at DragonCon.
Oh, look at that.
I've
That's
gotten kinky now.
not a bad idea. Any guesses here in the audience? Like, what is now? This is like the most fucked up Family Feud ever.
Show me cosplay.
Need answer on the board. Kinky things that you'd fly halfway across the country for.
Scat.
Scat. That's another one.
How many of you guys think it's scat?
We got a lot of.
Let's think it's scat. Say yeah.
All right. Docking. All right, go ahead. Keep going.
I turn to my coworker and say, he said I could shove things in his dick.
Wait a minute. Okay.
Okay, the reactions concern me. Because
That was a smorgasbord of reactions.
like this side of the audience be like shocked bemusement.
Yeah.
There's a small contingency of people who are like, hooray for shoving things in your dick. And then Ben Franklin over here, as if he just won an award, raises his hands up and looks at the audience.
Can I just say, when I finished it and put all these together today, I was expecting that line would have been like on this side of the audience and just get a... I did not expect for there to be an explosion of excitement like somebody just won bingo at the Italian Americans Club. Let's go ahead. Shove it. All right. That's like the new lock her up.
Shove it in. Shove it in. Shove it in.
All right.
Do you really want me to?
Train
Because
them
I
balls.
will.
All right. Go ahead.
At this point, a guy on the other end of the patio bench turns and says, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to listen or to pry, but I've never even heard of that.
How many of you guys have heard of that? Ryan Carmichael in the front row. Everyone.
Okay, well, no, hold on. All right. Super dick experts.
Wait, is that what you're cosplaying as, you assholes?
Dick occupation experts. Dick tunnelers.
They got miners' hats on.
Do you know what this is called?
Wait,
Holy shit. All right, honestly, this is not going to come through on audio. But the left half of this audience are straight freaks.
Hold on.
We've got defections.
Like, straight up, I thought this was all typos for a second because I had never heard of any of this before.
No, Uriel sounding. Go ahead, keep reading.
Well, actually, I started to explain the joys of urethral sounding to him and his friend. They're both wondering what is wrong with me, which, judging from the rest of the night, is the general reaction from men.
Does this imply that not only does she's immediately familiar with it, but now evangelizing on the subject, and also he came to her saying, I swear it'll be different this time. I got freaky. I seen the lights.
Yeah.
I shove shit in my dick now.
Here's your miner's hat and a swizzle stick. We're going to have ourselves a night. I read now from Wikipedia, urethral play can involve the introduction of either soft or rigid items into the meatus of the penis.
I'm sorry.
Maybe that's what Flo Rida was singing. as well as farther in. Objects such as sounds are usually only inserted about halfway into the glands and can usually be easily retrieved. I'm finally grossing out the left side of the audience.
Okay, look, I'm sure this girl's got it together. I'm sure this is all very sensible and that it'll all make sense. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
At this point, it's important to note that I have a bad drinking problem.
God damn it.
I had been drinking 30 ounces of Captain Morgan every night for years to get to sleep.
All right, this is a bit. This is somebody wrote this for this.
I don't think so. Keep going.
But recently, I had been doing much better. However, now I'm back at the point where I accidentally swallow mouthwash and get tipsy. So
Okay, hold on. Who accidentally swallows mouthwash and gets tipsy?
All right, keep going.
That's like my hand bumping in accidentally to my wife's boob over and over again. That doesn't do it. What is that?
Oh, is there an earthquake? Jeez.
Oh, golly.
wait, that's not an accident when that happens?
Yeah.
So basically, I'm 2 beers in and I am white girl wasted.
All right, this is where this story takes a turn.
Oh, thank goodness, because it was so boring and straightforward up until now.
Because what you are about to see is this story going from somebody who had madness visit upon them to being bitten by the frenzy of the possibility of sounding it out. That it takes a whole nother turn. Keep going.
Holy shit.
Own it. Remember that speech?
Trust me. I proceed to talk to every guy at the bar and offer every single one of them to stick things in their penis if they want. They do not want.
So that's just, imagine that episode of Cheers. Just walking around. Hey, can I put a number 2 in your number 1?
I'm gonna come down on the side of availability bias. I'm gonna say that there's very few things at the bar that are properly shaped to sound.
Oh, you're saying of just the things that are there,
You're talking to a dude whose day job is to shove nails in his nose, and I've been at the bar, and I'm like, oh, I could do a trick, and you look at that cocktail straw, and you're like, well, maybe, and then you start, and you're like, oh, this is a bad idea. Right?
Yeah.
On your dick, I'd imagine it's a little different.
All right, let's keep going here.
You're just sitting there, you're going, ba-na-na-na-na,
And then you just have just a tiny little half-inch of a red cocktail straw hanging out of your dick. Ta-da! You owe me a drink, sir. Scam School, huge with a 13 to 21 demo.
All right, you got this. Just barrel through.
Actually, they're all terrified.
Like a cocktail straw into a dick.
Umbrella. Until one guy says he'll do...
A cocktail umbrella in the dick? What is it, on vacation?
She's a girl. It's a girl drink. Duh.
All right, go ahead.
So one guy says he'll do it for an 8-ball. For all those super nerds, that is cocaine.
For record, that was the only parenthetical in the article. Everything else, including urethral sounding, was just left for us to understand.
My favorite part is that she's shaming the people who aren't hip to the fact that that's cocaine.
I know. So go ahead. Yeah, so this guy will do it for an 8-ball.
And a bottle of a specific aged whiskey. Monetary value about $500.
Now, I want to pause this right now so everybody understands that this began with somebody saying, hey, I'd like to fuck you, and I'd like you to jam shit in my dick. That has sparked a wildfire that is now putting her in the market to pay for the privilege to do it to somebody else.
When the other guys realize I'm being totally serious about paying for the service, a bidding war begins. Just for some re-emphasis, about 10 guys are trying to figure out how much money they can get paid to take their pants off and have stuff inserted in their pee holes.
All right. How many of you guys right now are thinking about how much money it would take to take off your pants and put it in your pee hole? Yeah.
Oh, hold on. Now all the kink section over here is the dad from Footloose. Like, oh, sure. You want to talk all about it? Fine. As soon as it comes to payment. Yeah, for the $1 million man. How much does you cost, boy, for you to jam that up your dick?
I'm doubling down on my theory that this was what caused them to break up to begin with. She's the one who wants to put things in the pee hole.
Well, yeah, that's the whole
No, he's like groveling back to her and saying like, oh,
I know, but then
let me get a piece. You can leave a pink flamingo crazy straw in my ding dong.
But then she gets the text like, look at this weirdo. Wants to shove things in his pee hole. Nobody would want that, would they? Would anyone hear?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's nuts, right? Like,
I mean, $500 right now.
All right, keep going.
Also, I just finished my third beer. Okay, so the winning bid ends up being $250 with a second time for free.
That's a bargain.
I know.
That's a bargain.
And by the way, it started at $500.
This is an entrepreneur right here.
I know. Somebody hit the buy it now feature.
He also gives me the option of if I want him to shave or not.
Okay.
And they say chivalry's dead.
It is.
What the fuck? All right. Here we go.
I'm about ready to hit up the ATM, but I have to pee first.
You have to pee.
I go into the single-person women's restroom and pass out on the floor.
This, I can only imagine that this is basically the adult equivalent of getting so excited to stay up to midnight to open one Christmas present that you fall asleep. Like this, all of her dreams are gonna come true, and she's like, and I'm asleep.
The owner has to come down to the building and unlock the restroom. She lets my coworker sign for my credit card and my drinks. So anyways, I don't go to that bar anymore.
There we go. That is the end of
Nicely done.
Onwards and Upwards. Thank you. I like to think that that's an urban legend now. That's like a Johnny Appleseed.
That's like the Jersey Devil of that bar. Did you hear the night the pea lady came?
The sounding of music. Not only the hills are alive. I don't get that. All right, we have another one. This one is called...
I saw a first hand right here. Ryan, get on up here. Everyone make noise.
This is
the internet's own cowgirl Curtis, who's going to read the following story as if it was her own.
This is called Mustang Sally.
Oh, see, it works out. It's good.
Yeah. Oh no, this is a really fun story. I think it's going to be really, really good. It's a jaunty song.
Jam.
So go ahead and Ryan, just read the first two sentences.
All right. This starts out dark, but it gets funny, I promise.
We believe you.
A few weeks ago, one of my good friends from college died of a very rare cancer. We'll call him Chris.
Who's ready to laugh? I don't know why. When I was putting this out, I'm like, this is going to jackknife the entire show. And I was right.
Is it bad that I thought they meant that they called the cancer Chris?
Did the cancer live on?
Oh no! Never mind.
Now Chris lives in Scottsdale, Arizona. And all right, keep going.
Chris fought a very hard battle, and it hit me pretty hard when he passed away. So the funeral took place in a town about an hour away, and my 23-year-old car wouldn't survive the trip. So my girlfriend very kindly let me take her new car, a Mustang she's wanted since she was a little girl. I leave with enough time to swing by a McDonald's on the way, and as I'm about 15 minutes from the funeral home, something unprecedented happens.
Okay, so we have what appears to be a healthy relationship.
Yeah.
We have two healthy relationships. A beloved friend who passes from cancer, a new girlfriend that loans the car, and McDonald's Corporation?
And so I think the big key here is obviously he has to go pay his respects. This is very emotional, and I guess the girlfriend worked very, very hard and has bought her dream car. Brian, you very recently bought your dream car.
You motherfucker.
I'm just saying. You understand what it means to gift somebody the ability to drive your dream car, right?
Yeah.
How would you say, like what is there, like, does it mean more, or?
You definitely are more aware. There was somebody who borrowed said Jeep, and he promised he could drive a stick shift, and I spent the whole time wondering, like, do you think he really knows how to drive a stick? I mean,
Yeah. All right, Ryan, keep reading.
I feel a pressure building in my abdomen. Nothing bad, but it's there.
it was a sounding rod.
That went pretty far up. I feel the pressure gurgle and move lower. I then feel the unmistakable sensation of a fart making its way through my system.
That's not, like, you could fart in a girl's car. She ain't never gonna know.
Yeah, I mean, like, she would have to
I mean,
have
I
a
may or
real
may
keen
not have-
eye, ear. I mean, nose. I guess if it's bad enough,
The above.
you'd be like, oh shit.
Have you ever let one out while having sex?
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah, right.
It happens.
So I'm gonna think doing it in the car is not that big a deal.
Farting in the car?
Yeah.
Yeah, unless it's so bad that it knocks out the new car smell. That would be a problem.
Did you ever burp while making out?
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's all everything gross I've done.
Have you ever
I don't know
shoved a
why, I've
sounding
done
rod
that, right?
up your
Yeah.
urethra?
Burped right in her nose. And blew it. Just to show her who's boss.
All right, so he's about to fart in a car.
I let it out, expecting to feel the familiar gaseous relief my body desired. However, this time, my body betrayed me. I am greeted with a warm, wet, and oily sensation that I have never felt as an adult.
Is this the equivalent of saying, I swear, baby, this never happened before?
Listen, man, he's pulling out his passport and he's saying, I don't see any checks here. I'm a first timer in the Shit Your Pants Club.
Yeah, that's correct. I shit my pants. There was
Chair is drunk.
That was a load dropping.
There was no mistaking it. I don't know if there was something wrong with the McDonald's I had on the way, or if I was getting the flu, or what, but it definitely happened. I get off on the next exit and head back home.
All right, here, pause it right now. Pause it right now. Brian, put yourself into the mind of this man.
Yeah.
He has eaten a filet of fish sandwich and shit his pants.
Yeah.
He now is only minutes away from his dear friend's funeral. What do you, this is like Speed. What do you do? All right, so your options are try to clean the shit out of your pants and go to the funeral, buy new pants and go to the funeral, or go back home.
Well, go back home is the least attractive of those options, right?
But this is you being a gigging, traveling
See,
professional.
and you nailed it,
Yeah.
right? I have the gig mentality, as the show must go on.
Yeah.
I have definitely, there was one gig that minutes before I went out, I went and pooped, and then I washed my hand, and it was one of those sinks that just, blast water all over your crotch, right? And so the show was definitely 10 minutes late as I stood with my pants in front of one of those heat dryer things, right?
So you didn't look like you just dumped an obscene amount of piss in your pants.
I also may have wetted the rest of the pants so it was even.
So push comes to shove, you can just come out on stage and be like, "What's up, guys? I just got out of the pool."
Hey, it's me, Brian, famous for my super dark pants.
Anyway, I was just fly fishing. And now the history of fire eating is as old as time itself.
The idea of turning tail, so to speak, and going home would not occur to me.
So now here's the other thing. One does not simply shit your pants on your way to your best friend's funeral. He was in his girlfriend's
well, so what?
dream car.
So you throw some Febreze in there, bada bing bang. I wonder if the story says otherwise.
You're going to look me right in the eye and say that if I borrowed your Jeep 2 weeks after getting it and then shit my pants in the driver's seat, that you would just be totally hunky-dory with it?
Okay, is it clear yet whether or not the shit is through? Is it on or around?
We do not know based on this story, but we can suspect that there is certainly a malignant odor.
I mean, I bought it used, so I just assume she's been around.
Had somebody shit in that driver's seat before?
Yeah.
Is that a rule of thumb for buying a used car? Is like if you're not okay with the idea that somebody shit their pants in here,
all right.
don't plunk down the money.
Feel me out. Buying a used car is the equivalent of marrying in your 30s, where it's like, I know you've had your life before me, but now it's us. Am I wrong? No. Apparently I'm wrong.
You know, I'm 34.
Oh, are you?
I got married 2 years ago.
I meant to say 35. I didn't mean to say 30s.
All right, keep going, Ryan.
I called my girlfriend in shame to tell her what happened.
Why would you do that? Why would you do that?
Felt like I should.
So wait a minute. This entire time that I was saying, like you're just assuming that you never tell the person that you shit your pants in your car?
Why would I tell anyone? I don't care if it leaked out of the pants. I'd clean it up. I'd be like a little Febreze and we're fine.
Yes. Hey, do you know that there's a chocolate stain in there? You should bring that back to the dealership.
Okay, I wouldn't go so far as to deceive that.
Oh, that's crossing a line.
Yeah. But it's like, if she detects like, sweetheart, I think someone shit in my car last night. Well, you got me, baby. But it's like, you don't pick up the phone and
so you have to
announce you jerked off in the warehouse.
So wait a minute. You have to wait until you get guess who'd before you.
She comes up, she's like, I think it was your butt in my car with a candlestick.
That's me. You sunk my battleship. Mixing metaphors. All right, go ahead. Let's finish this off.
Not only did I feel terrible and guilty that I won't be able to pay my final respects to my dear friend Chris because I apparently can't control my bowels, but I shit myself in the driver's seat of my girlfriend's brand new Mustang. Surprisingly, she wasn't even mad. In fact, she just felt bad for me, but there's definitely some teasing in my near future.
There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Mustang Sally. And let's keep it going for Ryan Carmichael. The one and only Cowgirl Curtis. Brian.
I'm disturbed by
You're
this.
You're still
I'm more comfortable
hot about
with shoving a rod in my pee hole than this level of giving up on a gig.
Are you? So wait.
You have $500 on you?
So and an 8-ball. This is the most fucked up panel at this con. Somebody who goes to the bondage panel is gonna walk out and be like, I don't know, tasteless. So what do you find more offensive? The fact that he gave up on the gig or that he came clean on shitting his pants in the car when he didn't need to?
I think it's fine to come clean on shitting in the... But it sounds like the car was unaffected. So,
yeah, we didn't really get I spent the next 3 hours
hiding my shame or whatever.
In a gas station parking lot, pumping quarters into the thing so I can vacuum out the shit.
Can we maybe reduce the shame associated with shitting themselves? How many people here have shit themselves? Hands in the air. Left side, I knew it.
Wow, the left side again overrepresented. We put one in the front and get one out in the back. At any times, we're the left side of the audience. Holler if you hear me.
All right, who wants to read the next one?
Let's go with the right side here.
Wait, the non-shitters? All right, right here.
All right, come on up.
Hey, don't ever... Never mind.
All right.
That was a dangerous off-ramp I just elected not to take. Hi, my name is Brian. What's your name?
My name is Lisa.
Lisa,
where are you from?
I'm from California.
Oh, whereabouts?
Southern California, the Inland Empire.
All right. So,
you ever shit yourself?
I think maybe when I was 6. Does that still count? Or does
It's an experimental phase. Everyone goes through it.
Okay.
all right, Lisa, this one printed out weird. So, yeah, you're going to need to just try to focus on it. If you can't read
normal.
it,
Just
then I can
edit
read
the
it.
story to make it normal.
Okay.
All right, this one is called Behave. Behave.
I was 14 and in high school, and had just recently started dating my first real, hey, we're boyfriend and girlfriend. I was in an exciting point in my life, man.
All right. Brian, how old was this for you? Your first, I have a real girlfriend.
How old was I when I was 14?
I want to sound you out.
You got $500 on an 8-ball?
Your first girlfriend. Your first we're dating. Let's go on dates. Let's watch my so-called life.
There was a weird moment.
Pacific. Go ahead.
There was a weird moment when I guess I was in 7th grade, and it wasn't called dating. It was called going with someone, where you didn't actually go anywhere. but you announced that the two of you liked each other.
Yeah.
And maybe you would sit next to each other at lunch.
It was known you were known throughout the school as you were going with the other person.
Yeah, until 5 days later when you
were no
going.
longer going.
That's right.
Yeah.
But my first for reals girlfriend would have been sophomore year high school.
Sophomore year of high school. All right, Lisa. When was your first boyfriend?
About 14.
14. All right, so obviously way better than Brian. All right, go ahead.
But that didn't make me any less of an idiot. Now, I want to kind of state that I had gone to grade and middle school at a Catholic school up in New Jersey, so I had gotten just the barest teaching about the birds, the bees, and sexy innuendo. So one day my girlfriend invited me over to her place to study. While we were actually studying, her father, the only adult in the house at the time, pops his head into her room to inform us that he's going out for a bit and to behave in the tone of voice of a man who knows.
Pause the story.
Okay, that's the equivalent of those giant posters that look like they're an advertisement for marijuana. It's like, don't do in the smallest font, and then marijuana, super huge.
And just a guy doing a backflip and just a snowboarder in mid-shred, giving a thumbs up.
It's like getting high, and then in micro font, on life.
Yeah. The reason why I wanted to ask you about this is...
You motherfucker, I just realized where this is headed. I have a 13-year-old daughter. Why is that shocking? Why would that be shocking?
Here's what it struck.
Hold on, for the record, the response I heard, I don't know which one of you fuckers said it, but one of you said, "How old you are, Brian?"
Old enough to have a 13-year-old daughter.
Here's what I want to know, because when I was rereading this, it struck me that, like, this sounds plausible. And I'm not saying that this didn't happen, but this, when you more associate yourself with the teenage boy, you're like, oh, the dad came in and said, behave yourself in a way that knew that something was going to happen, right? But if you are more relating to the father, like, what kind of weird Dutch shit is this? Where, like, it's like, I'm going to leave these two teenagers alone. Wink. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. Like, doesn't that seem a little weird?
Yeah, man. At least be coy about it. Like, have a better line. Like, you're heading out and you're like, hey, I'm going to be outside. There's cameras everywhere.
Yeah. But just like also, Brian, recreate this for me. What is behave in a tone of voice of a man who knows?
I would like to think it's Austin Powers. He does like, like this
he
is
just
a dated
growls
story. Yeah. Man, no, this is bad parenting.
Give me. You have to say behave though, in the tone of a man who knows. All right, so here, imagine Brian. You're now looking at a daughter, not your daughter, and you are walking out. This is and behave and cue Brian.
Hey kiddo, I've got to go get an 8-ball and $500. Don't tell my parole officer. Also, there's cameras everywhere. Behave.
Behave. All right, there we go. All right, Lisa, keep going.
He takes off, and my girlfriend starts telling me about her favorite underwear and goes about trying it on in front of me.
Oh, see, I just remember this. Okay, sexes are unfair because I think I can understand this all differently knowing that it's a guy. Like that, there is that kind of culture of men being all like, behave, wink.
So that is the weirdest shit.
It's terrible. It's awful. It's
so
the worst
like,
thing ever.
Yeah, hey, person I just met, like, bang my daughter. Anyway, patriarchy for life.
Actually, that would be very progressive of me, right? No? No.
All right.
Well, yeah, sex is shameful. Nobody should do it. Who's got $500?
All right, hold on. So full warning. This came from a period where we were doing stories called Neon Signs, where we were just collecting these stories of times when it's usually wound up being guys would have sex presented to them very often when they were virgins. And they just did not recognize because they were so thick-headed what was going on.
And these stories traditionally involve underage minors.
No, but this one sure did. There's a fine line between like
it's a fine line.
Old like, oh, remember when the innocence of youth with child pornography. Like, here are 14-year-olds looking to have sex with each other.
Trying on an underwear.
Let me ask you this. Trying on underwear in front of somebody that you would like to have sex with, where does that rank on the I'm trying to let this other person know that I am game for sexy time? Lisa, on a scale of 1 to 10, where does this rank?
Well, you're taking off the underwear to put on underwear, so I feel like that's a mixed signal.
So you're saying that it's like
a 5.
Maybe she's into it.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I guess she's not.
No, I guess not. I guess this really is about underwear.
No, I'm covering it up.
Good point.
All right.
It's a blinking neon light. That's what it is.
Well, let's get to the punchline. You guys already know that it probably doesn't happen, but let's find out exactly what happened instead of sex.
And what does my ignorant ass do? Talk to her about some dumbass Warcraft 3 fanfic I had been writing. I did not lose my virginity that day.
Warcraft 3 fanfic! That's never not going to be my favorite way that any of these stories end.
So she's like, I want to put on underwear for you. And he's like,
this is a thong. This is that.
You're like, oh, that's a good point. So I sat on my frozen throne.
Yeah. Yeah. And Arthas said to Jaina, yo, what up, girl? All right, there we go. That is Behave. Thank you to Lisa. All right, we're going to bring this baby home. One more story. Brian, go ahead and gaze out. We are looking for someone to read the story. Hey, Gordo. All
right, you know what? We got somebody here signaling who had a friend sneak up behind him and point to him. So let's go with this guy right over here. Everyone make noise. Everyone make noise is my secret code for tepid applause, please. Tepid applause, please, is my secret code for actually cheer this time. Hey, what's your name?
Paul.
Paul.
How you doing?
Paul, where are you coming from?
Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
Apparently, South Carolina is well represented here at Old DC. Hey, Gordo is the name of this story. So let's go ahead and get it cracking.
It's the late aught-noughts, and I'm working at a joint that builds...
Time out. Is this a thing people say?
Right?
Is the aught-noughts a thing? Has anyone ever said the aught-noughts? Somebody shouts,
The
it is
aught-noughts
in the
is in the South?
Okay,
Not
so
really?
being from Myrtle Beach,
No, okay.
All right.
I just want to let everybody know that more people were enthusiastically excited to let them know that they knew what sounding was than to take credit for the aught-noughts.
and I'm working at a joint that builds custom Macs for the local Vancouver film studios. And if you ever had to collaborate with film people, you know what that entails.
All right, time out. What does that entail?
Read the next sentence.
All right, go ahead.
They only show up when they need something, and they need it yesterday.
Okay.
Okay. I was building a set of editing machines for The Watchmen when an all-caps boner of an order comes in.
All right, so just to set the scene here, this is the film and television boom in Vancouver.
Sure.
And he is building industrial-grade editing machines.
This is almost 20 years ago.
Yeah.
In the aught-noughts.
In the aught-noughts, which probably is a fitting review for The Watchmen.
Oh, no.
Oh, I'm
All
sorry.
the people clapping shit themselves, for the record.
No, yeah, because that Zack Snyder film aged really well. All right, so here's the all-caps boner of an order that just came in while he was building these machines for The Watchmen.
4 Mac Pros, done out to the tits, due yesterday. Runner is already en route. We'll pay later, we swear. Hugs and kisses, space chimps.
Okay. For the record, this is in quotes, so this is dialogue. So yeah. I would like to think that in typical Hollywood style, it's as though, you know, the killer's on the phone, and you're like, 4 Mac Pros, done out to the tits, due yesterday. Runner's already en route. We'll pay later, we swear. Hugs and kisses, space chimps.
By the way, Space Chimps, released in 2008, is an American 3D computer-animated science fiction comedy film that features the voices of Andy Samberg, Cheryl Hines, Jeff Daniels, and Patrick Warburton.
All right, well, hold on. I thought I guess Space Monkeys was the Fight Club thing, because I'm turning my head back to the aught-noughts.
So this is a heretofore untold story about the making of Space Chimps, The 2008 3D American computer animated science fiction comedy.
Fuck me. Okay, whatever. I stop everything. I crank out the machines they want. A few hours later, I put them on a pallet. I hear the runner from the Talking Chimps movie pulling up to my shipping door with the gurgle that only an abused company car can produce, and I start pushing the pallet to the door when my pants catch on it.
And we're off to the races. Brian, you just described one time that it almost looked like you pissed yourself.
Sure.
You had to cover for it. Any other times when you've been like on the road that you have spontaneous malfunctions of your wardrobe or anything like that?
Well, okay, if my pants were to rip, I would just rip them all over the place and act like that's how the pants came.
Be like, yeah, sorry, that's how we do it here, square.
Sure.
I thought this was the movie industry.
And rip a solid 3 inches in the crotch. Are you kidding me? A rip in the dick right now? I gotta play nice with some Hollywood tourists and my junk is about to flap in the wind? Fuck it. Whatever. I grabbed the giant slab stapler that I used to seal up cardboard boxes.
See, this is smart. This is smart. No, I've seen that movie with the alien and they stapled up the belly.
But this is, I will say, Brian, this is the kind of field surgery that you would appreciate. This guy's a gamer. He's taking care of it.
I may have done exactly this. I may have used staples to just like get me through the next hour.
Now, I would assume that in your case, you took your pants off.
No, I was careful.
Okay, all right. So you were high stakes. Let me just lean over and staple up my pants.
It's not like I'd do something as dumb as, staple my dick.
We continue reading.
And slap my pants together. Bang. 1 staple.
See? It's working.
Mm-hmm. Bang. 2 staples.
Goddamn genius.
Halfway there.
Bang. 3 staples.
I think you're in the
Almost
clear.
done. Yeah.
Bang. Ow. My hand was pulling my pants too taut and was in the way. The fleshy bit between my thumb and pointer finger of my left hand have been married without consent to my H&M jeans at the junk. God damn it.
He stapled his hand to his dick.
At this point, I'm wondering if this has all been an elaborate ruse to bring me on stage for a story about somebody injuring their hand.
Now that you mention it, world-renowned hand injury expert Brian Brushwood, you're coming. All right, keep reading.
And the assuredly hungover runner is now banging at my shipping door, probably annoyed that he has to do actual work, but the production team he represents pays the bills. So I grunt down and shoulder push the pallet to the gate, hit the button, and roll up the shipping door. And with the blinding Canadian summer afternoon sunlight, I emerge, blinking into Mad Max level heat, sunlight, and badly produced dad rock.
All right, pause it right here. So this guy, Rush builds all these things. Huge windfall for him.
Sure.
Right? This is the last-minute gig. He now has his hand stapled to his dick through his jeans. He is bleeding. And also, it just shows you how much power he has over, like, that situation with the PA. That he's just going to elephant walk out and just be like, here's your computers, fucking take them. Pay no attention to where my hand is stapled.
Now, maybe more details will emerge, but I got the idea that he only has a staple hanging out of his hand. I'll be curious to see whether or not his genital, still attached, stapled through.
Married, all right, so the way that it's written, It's the fleshy bit between his thumb and pointer finger on his left hand had been married without consent to the H&M jeans at the junk. So he has this. It is
Okay, so it's not
stapled
on. So it's stapled to his crotch.
Yes. No. So not. Yeah. The
But
staple.
not
The staple
in
has
his
not
junk.
pierced through.
Yeah, okay.
Both his flesh and the jeans into his dick. It just looks like he has his hand
And in
on
the
his
heat
dick.
of the moment,
Yeah.
he's like, "Well, I'll just move this forward, get the guy out, and it'll be fine,
Yeah.
and I'll look like I'm hugging my sounding board the
Yes.
whole time."
Now, meanwhile, let's understand what else happened here. This man is a professional in Vancouver. He has opened his, as many people who work by themselves, sometimes you can lose track of what time of day it is, specifically if you work in a warehouse or something like that without big outdoor lighting. So now all of a sudden he just has the blinding flashlight of God on his face as he is injured and trying to game his way out there, and he sees not the normal random parking lot, but rather an explosion of light and excitement. It is a picnic. So go ahead.
You see, unbeknownst to me, the next door neighbor to the company turns out to be a political office for the local Liberal Party and was holding some kind of fundraiser or awareness event or something. So while some doughy, middle-aged suburban parents and cool aunts were eating bad Costco cake and lazily swaying to Bryan Adams in an entirely too hot parking lot,
Hold on, there's not a single noun without judgment before it. They're not just middle-aged suburban parents; they're doughy middle-aged suburban parents. And they're not just ants, they're cool ants.
And it's not just Costco cake, it's bad Costco cake.
And they're not just swaying to Bryan Adams, they're lazily swaying. And it's not just a parking lot, it's an entirely too hot parking lot.
And it's... Keep going.
I rip open a shipping door, pushing a sloppily wrapped pile of custom Macs out into the sun.
Why can't it just be a regular...
I was going to say, at least he shit on himself. Which would make the second time it happened in this show.
And I stop. And there he is, right in front of me. Gordon Campbell.
All right, pause. Who knows who Gordon Campbell is? Not
I do.
even the left
Atlanta,
side.
Georgia.
Gordon Campbell is born... Yeah, he's not a producer on Space Chimps. He indeed is. Born January 12, 1948, a Canadian diplomat and politician who was the 35th mayor of Vancouver and the 34th premier of British Columbia. He is the highest ranking political figure in British Columbia, where that guy lives. And he is now, again, with his hands stapled to his crotch, face to face with the man himself.
Dude runs all of...
There's the man. We just put up Gordon right there. That's what that dude is seeing right now in this story.
Dude runs all of British Columbia, and he's eating shitty cake.
All right, again, not just cake.
And I have stapled my hand to my junk, bleeding onto my Chuck Taylors while he smirks in mild confusion.
All right, Brian, if that figure shambled his way up to you, how would you rank your confusion?
Situations not unlike this have happened in my life. And I've realized, in general, the rule of thumb is just tell them everything and start a 5-minute hilarious routine about like, whoa. So anyway, like, yeah, fucking. I would tell him everything. I would show him my dick. I would shove a rod up it. I'd offer him $500 and an 8-ball.
I'd split some McDonald's with him, and we'd both get into a Mustang, and we'd shit our pants.
ourselves. That's right.
All right, here we go. Bring us on home.
So I shake his hand and say, "Hey, Gordo, what's up?"
There we go, ladies and gentlemen.
Well done.
I would like to think that he ripped his stapled hand off his crotch to do it.
I mean,
Hey, he got a staple remover?
you know how like in those moments time slows down? You would have to think about like you're doing a Constitution roll in Dungeons and Dragons, where it's like what are the odds? Like over under, I can pull my hand out, but there's a chance that when I do, it'll rip and I'll fling blood all over him or any of that, and you would just gamble.
Yeah. Hey, Gordo.
Hey, Gordo. What's up?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that about brings us to the end of our show. Did you guys have a good time tonight? I want to thank everybody who sent in your stories. If you guys want to send in your stories for the next OPP show, go ahead and do it at justinrobertyoung@gmail.com. Just put OPP in the subject line. As you have seen tonight, everything is fully anonymous. One more big round of applause for Brian Brushwood.
Unless you're Gordon Campbell, in which case,
fuck you, Gordon Campbell. Look at him. Oh, 2 thumbs up. He loved it. Up. Gordon Campbell loved it. All right, can we get a sound on my laptop? There we go. That was my bad. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your old pal Justin Robert Young telling you to please Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.